Hey, sports card collectors and investors, how is everybody doing today? I've got a little extra oomph in my step this morning after that game winner last night. If anyone didn't catch the Mavs Clippers game, watch the highlights. Luka Magic was in full effect. The guy, I don't know. I mean, and of course, you know, it's just one season, it's just one game, et cetera, but if he starts pulling this stuff off in the playoffs, you know, you have to kind of look at him as like, you know, a lot of us have been looking at him as is this guy the next, you know, we're passing the torch, you know, to Giannis and Luka. I know people have talked about Zion. I want to give Zion some credit, though. I think that he's just been dealing with kind of a tough rookie campaign. The guy's got a ton of hype. He had a ton of hype coming into the league, like something, you know, that we had not seen previously, maybe since LeBron. You know, so I think Zion is going to be good long term. It's just we gotta see it. And with Luka, he's kind of giving us that instant gratification. The guy's just lighting it up. And last night, I mean, considering they did not have Porzingis, I'll be honest, when I turned the game on and I saw that Porzingis was not going to play, I thought it was over before it even started. And then they went down 21 points in the beginning of the second. And you're looking at it, it's like this series is over. I mean, it's absolutely over. And I think that this is the kind of stuff, these are the types of performances that, you know, you look at and, you know, is this going to be the next guy? These are the types of like legendary performances that you're looking for out of these star players. When guys say that Luka is the next, you know, Larry Bird, you know, a lot of people scoff at that until they've done anything in the postseason. Because you can be an amazing regular season player and never do anything in the postseason. So I know this is one game, not going to get all, you know, crazy about one game, but I mean, it just showed what he's capable of. He's 21 years old. Sky's the limit for this kid. It really is. It's just a matter of staying healthy. I mean, and that was on a bad ankle, you know, I mean, and just the fact the Clippers are so deep. I mean, not only did, you know, Kawhi have a good game, but Lou Williams, arguably one of the better coming off the bench players ever, lights up the scoreboard. They had some good, I mean, they just have a lot of guys that can contribute for the Clippers. And it was just incredible to see it all kind of come to fruition. Playoff Paul, nowhere to be found again. I think it's in his head. It's in his head now, which I have a mail day coming out tomorrow, mail day video, and I've got a Paul George in there, and I'm going to talk about it. But Playoff Paul, I think it's in his head now. I think there's something bothering him. And you could see in the post-game presser, Kawhi, he was frustrated. He wasn't calling out Paul George, but I think he shot 3 for 14, like 1 of 7 from 3, Paul George. And if you're Kawhi Leonard, you're thinking like, I didn't sign up for this. Like, this is supposed to be my guy that I can, you know, that I can lean on, kind of the other superstar. And then you have all the role players that the Clippers have that are fantastic. It's like, it shouldn't be. I mean, if Paul George has a halfway decent game, they win the game, you know, hands down. So anyway, I digress. I know I'm talking about basketball, and you guys want to talk about other things. So first off, Mike Trout Super Refractor sells for a current record. It broke the Honus Wagner card price of $3.1 million. This thing sold for $3.84 million. Mike Trout. I mean, Mike Trout, best baseball player in the MLB, and I'm not, you know, granted, I've said this, I'm not a baseball guy. I understand that he's a great player, but it still kind of shocks me a little bit that at these prices, just because, I mean, he has proven a lot, but he has not won a championship. You know, he's not, there's still things that he hasn't done. You know, it's funny when we talk about like Luka, we talk about some of these guys, James Harden, you know, it's like, yeah, but they've never won championships. So like, you know, their cards can only go so high or whatever. Well, Mike Trout's just kind of blowing that out of the water. Apparently you can not win championships and have the highest grossing card ever sold at $3.84 million. It's unbelievable. It's awesome for the industry. It's awesome for the hobby. But, you know, and Vegas Dave sold it. Apparently he bought it for $400,000 2 years ago. Hey, whether you like Vegas Dave or you don't like Vegas Dave, that dude is cleaning up. He is absolutely cleaning up. So if David Carr and the Raiders go win, or excuse me, Derek Carr, I always say David. I want to say David every time. If Derek Carr goes and wins a Super Bowl with the Raiders, Vegas Dave, he went back to the future. He got the sports almanac, and he's just figuring this out because, I mean, he's going out on a limb with his Derek Carr stuff. But anyway, and I like Derek Carr and I like the Raiders. I think they've got good upside, but Vegas Dave, man, what a character. Anyway, so what do you guys think about that sale? Do you think it's absolutely ludicrous? Do you think that it's something, is this more to come? Is this kind of setting a benchmark for that next LeBron RPA or, Michael, extremely rare? I wonder what that green PMG Michael Jordan would go for now. What did it sell for? $350,000, $400,000, I believe, in February. I would love to know what that thing would go for now. So anyway, crazy times in the hobby, but awesome as well. Let me know, do you guys think this is kind of like we're hitting the ceiling of this stuff, or is this just the beginning? Like, are we going to see $10 million cards being sold? I want to hear what you think. Second part of this video, why I'm investing in soccer cards, and I've moved a lot of resources. I'm kind of really moving a lot of focus to soccer cards, and a lot of it is yes. I mean, sure, prices over the last 90 days, really the money to be made was 90 days ago, 6 months ago. If you're getting into soccer cards, you're getting everything really, really cheap. Really, really cheap. Now, not so cheap. Now things have caught up. I'm trying to catch it on the way up. I think I do already have equity in some stuff. Of course, though, a lot of it's going to depend on these guys' performance. You've seen in my mail days, I've bought a lot of Harry Kane. Can he come back from injury? Is he fit enough? Can he come back to that form that he had previously in the World Cup in 18? And I think that he can. I'm betting on that he can, but we'll have to see. So soccer cards in general, though, first off, I like that Premier League is starting back up. We just had the Champions League final yesterday, which was interesting. We got to see some Mbappe in action. He did not score. He had some close moments. Lewandowski got fouled at the end of the game, and I've got some Lewandowski cards, so I was like, woo, we're getting a penalty kick, we're getting a goal. They didn't call it. The guy got absolutely manhandled inside the box. They didn't call it anyway. So I believe it's Bayern. Anyway, Baird, I'm probably saying the name of the team wrong. They won the championship, but it was exciting seeing a lot of stars on the field at the same time. So we had that championship game. Then we have, Premier League is starting up. We've got Euros coming next summer. I think there's going to be a lot of build up to the Euros. We've got World Cup coming up in 2022, and then we've got World Cup coming up in 2026. You have 5 years kind of ahead of us of kind of exciting soccer stuff. So I'm really interested in seeing what happens with this. I think there's a lot of intrigue around soccer cards. Are you guys getting in? This is something, and just to give you an idea, and I've talked about this, guys have been talking to me about soccer cards for a couple of months really, and I've been on the sidelines kind of like, I was really focused on basketball for a good bit in football, and and then I think that's another reason why I'm kind of turning my attention towards soccer. I'm really concerned that there's not going to be a full NFL season, or it's going to be cut short, or there's going to be some modification to it. I'm just not sure about the NFL. I hope it all goes to plan, and I hope it all works. I think there's going to be a lot of excitement around getting football back, NFL football back. There's a lot of storylines. My Saints are probably going to win the Super Bowl. Kidding, you guys. Not really kidding, though. They've got a shot. I think Alvin Kamara is going to show up big. For them this year, he's in a contract year. I think guys are hungry. I just think we play now we have Tom Brady and Gronk and the rest of the gang in the division. I think the Bucs are going to be very, very difficult to overcome. And that's before you even get to the Falcons, which are not a bad team. And the Panthers, although rebuilding, you never know in the NFL. They could actually be pretty good. They've still got Christian McCaffrey, Teddy Bridgewater from the Saints, whatever that went over there. He's a good QB. So interested in seeing kind of what happens with that division. The NFL as a whole is my favorite sport. Basketball, football are really my loves. So I'm excited for it. We will see what happens. But that has kind of pushed me even more towards soccer, is just the uncertainty behind COVID, how it's going to affect the NFL season, and what it's going to mean for investments, for sports card investments, in that space. So soccer cards, they provide kind of an outlet where I feel like it's fairly safe as far as the COVID stuff goes. They're not playing in stadiums with fans. They kind of seem to have it figured out as far as what they're doing. So I'm interested to see what happens with soccer. And there's a lot of exciting games. There's a lot of exciting players. You kind of have guys coming to the end of the road. In basketball, it's similar. You've got LeBron, you've got KD. These are like the superstars. Steph Curry still got a few years left, I believe. but these guys are coming, they're at the tail end of their career. They're not at the beginning. So I think there's a lot of excitement around like a guy like Luka, or some of these younger guys coming in, or these soccer players. You look at Messi, Ronaldo, these guys aren't young. They're getting up there in age. Ronaldo, I think, is 35 years old, Cristiano Ronaldo. And granted, he's in great shape and everything else, but these guys Father Time is batting 1,000. Like these guys only have a couple more years of elite play. And then you have to look to that next crop, that next group. And I think that's where basketball is exciting. NFL football is no different. You've got Breeze, Brady, Roethlisberger, but then you've got a lot of these young guys, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. I think it's going to be the Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes show, assuming all those guys can stay healthy. But you've got intriguing QBs. Joe Burrow. He was lights out in college. I know that he's got a whole. He's a rookie. But there's a lot of exciting young talent. Baker Mayfield maybe be able to do something. So you've got a bunch of guys out there that are very exciting, but they're young guys. Dak Prescott. Which of these guys are going to kind of like separate? Which guys are going to separate themselves? And that's what we're going to find out in the next couple of years, and it's exciting stuff. So, guys, thank you for tuning in. This is just I want to just kind of crank out a quick one, although this quick one turned into 11, 12 minutes. But I just love talking sports. I know I rambled on about the Mavs, but I'm sorry. After a game like that, we got to talk about it. If you have not subscribed already, we are approaching 200 videos on the channel. We cover all things personal finance, collectibles investing. I focus a lot on sports card investing. I had a video on Tesla yesterday, so on Tesla stocks. So we're really mixing it up with the channel, and want to make sure it's kind of broad, but kind of really hitting on all things investing, personal finance, and collectibles. So thank you very much for joining, guys. We will talk to you again next time. Take care.